Hello, River Terrace parents. This is Pastor Ken Bieber, and welcome to RTC Supporting Parents, a resource, a class, a podcast, a video, depending on how you hear it or watch it, for the parents of River Terrace Church, for parents from the kids in their earliest ages all the way up through senior high. We're in this time of COVID-19, and it is making it difficult for us to parent how we've known, and so the council, the staff of the church want to offer you support, and so I'll be here with you each week, offering some biblical insights for and as well as talking with staff and like Shalom with our children's ministry and members of the church and beyond to provide both biblical and practical tools for you for this time. And you're welcome to pass this on to whomever you think might benefit from it. And you can either watch it as a video or listen to it as an MP3 audio file, because maybe you're tired of looking at videos, or maybe you go for a run or for a walk, and you can listen to it then. And we could have some type of gathering for the parents, but there are some challenges with that. First is that on Sunday mornings, we're now having this hybrid of online worship and then limited in-person worship. During the month of September, we'll have worship at 9 a.m. in the sanctuary and then 11 a.m. outside. But there is no nursery, there are no children's classes in person yet. And so if we had a gathering of parents in person, there would be no childcare available for that. And so then if we have a meeting on Zoom, which we could have, I know that in talking with some moms that it's challenging even that, because either you work all day often on Zoom, plus try to help your kids with school for those who are in school, and then even you kind of need to step away from your kids to have a Zoom meeting, and it might be hard to hear and concentrate. So we'll look at having some type of in-person or online support among the parents, but for right now we'll be distributing this format weekly. And I look forward to you can send me, ken@riverterrace.org, send me different resources that come to mind that you'd like to have shared with other parents. And so I look forward to being with you over these weeks and months ahead. I want to take a few moments to look at Scripture to give us some biblical insight and encouragement. During this time of parenting in the era of COVID-19, we find ourselves having to adapt day to day, and we have a lot of uncertainty. I think about how this past week with our family, our one son, Aiden, goes to East Lansing Public High School, and he's in 12th grade. He's in marching band, and it was announced earlier this week, yes, we will have football this fall after all. And so then there's the question of, well, is there going to be marching band or not? We're already in the school season, the fall semester, and those decisions are still being made. It's touch and go day to day. And I think that's for all of us, whether you have infants and toddlers at home or all the way up through senior high, it's day to day. What's it going to look like? And I think that with all of that uncertainty and the anxiety and the coming months ahead, I was reading a news story about, whether or not things are going to, because we're most likely not going to have a vaccine anytime soon. And so what will it look like when you have the COVID-19 compounded with the flu season? What's that going to look like? And so in this time of everything being touch and go, uncertain, lots of anxiety, that even each day, wondering, well, how much time am I able to spend on my job? And if it's, at home on Zoom, and how much will I be working with my kid who's, studying at home? I love this statement from Malachi chapter 3, verse 6. Malachi writes, I, the Lord, do not change. So you, the descendants of Jacob, are not destroyed. I love that statement. I, the Lord, do not change. And that's from the NIV. Now, the older translation, the King James Version, has the poetic quality where it says, I am the Lord, I change not. I am the Lord, I change not. And again, the NIV, I, the Lord, do not change. And so just take a moment to rest in that truth. Just think, okay, well, I don't know how this day is going to go. I don't know how it's going to end. I don't know next week what home or school is going to look like. And so it's so encouraging to remember that God doesn't change, that God is not, even though he interacts with all that's going on, even though he knows the outcomes, even though he is sovereign and carrying out his will, and we don't know what's going to be coming, except we do know that Christ will one day return. That God is sure, that God is unchanging, and we can just rest in that reality. And it's interesting. Malachi is it's a smaller prophetic book. It's the last book of the Old Testament, written probably in the 5th century before the birth of Christ. And you have from Malachi up until the New Testament this this silence. God is still active, but he wasn't revealing himself through Scripture during those intervening centuries. And so this is a great word that as the people of the Jewish people would go into this period of silence, not having Scripture revealed to them, that still God is not changing. And for you, whether it is the kind of the mundane day to day, you're mostly stuck at home and kind of going stir crazy, or it's that day to day, hour to hour change, whichever of those you might be in, or maybe it's both. One day's different from the next. Please remember that God tells us that he does not change, and that we, as the descendants of Abraham, the descendants of Jacob, we are not destroyed. So God holds us and cares for us. And, as we think about our kids and the effects that this time has on them, and on the one hand, some of them might develop new skills. They might become more avid readers. They might they might be working on their artistic skills, or discovering things that they hadn't had time to or put focus on before. Or it might be where you just feel like, wow, they don't have as much contact with other kids, with their peers, and our in-person worship has been limited. We've had services outside during part of the summer, and now we're moving to indoor worship. But that's going to be limited. And so, what's the effect of my kids concerning their faith? And so, in that, as we try to do the best we can and try to raise our kids in the faith, one of the things we teach them is, I, the Lord, do not change. So you, the descendants of Jacob, are not destroyed. So if you remember anything else today, I hope it's that phrase, I, the Lord, do not change.
Hello, my name's Shalom, Jaconette. I'm the Children's Ministry Director here at River Terrace. As part of Pastor Ken's class for parents called RTC Supporting Parents, I'm going to be introducing or explaining one of the programs or things that I do here at church each week. Today I thought I'd start with Greenhouse. So if you're not familiar with Greenhouse, it's a program where kids can come to continue worshiping. You can watch it anytime during the week, or you could watch it right before or after if you're watching online on a Sunday. It is available at any time. It's just a brief continuation of worship in an age-appropriate way. And what we do is start with a welcome. We light the candle so that kids know it's time to worship, show us a sign of reverence and respect. And then we do a call to worship. After that, we do a praise song. I usually use Vacation Bible School videos where kids can stand up and have music and movement. That's probably one of their favorite parts. It's one of mine too. After that, I do a confession with the kids where I involve them and they're able to interact with that. Each week I choose a scripture and a message or a lesson where I talk with them about a Bible story or something else like the fruit of the Spirit. And then we finish that with a prayer. And each week we sing the doxology together to finish, and we extinguish the candle. So the kids know what to expect and they know how to participate. And it's just a really great way for kids to worship in their own kid-friendly way, in a way where I'm retelling something or talking with them about something that is appropriate to them. So I hope that you're able to put one of those on for your kids if you haven't yet. There is on the website a section under Children's Ministry that shows all of the archived greenhouse videos I've been doing since the end of March. So there are lots there to choose from. You can also just start fresh with this week's greenhouse. So join me sometime and check it out, watch with your kids. And if you have any questions or comments or new ideas for me, that would be great too. Feel free to reach out to me at any time. Thank you.
Hello, River Terrace families. This is Pastor Ken Bieber and Carla Bieber, and we want to have all the parents and students know that this Sunday, September 13th, at 5 p.m. from 5 to 6:30 outside, we're going to have a welcome back event. So we will have, for all the middle schoolers and high schoolers, we're going to have pizza. We're going to have socially distanced volleyball and other activities. We're going to be in the two groups of middle schoolers and high schoolers. We're going to welcome everybody into the fall season. So please be sure to come.
A special welcome to the incoming sixth graders. We want to have you here and we're excited to see you.
Yeah, so please, again, that will be this Sunday, September 13th from 5 to 6:30 outside the south parking lot. So we'll see you then. Be sure to come. I mentioned at the beginning, RTC Supporting Parents offers resources, and that includes practical resources. And so now I want to make you aware of one that is here at the RTC River Terrace grounds. And so let's say that you have one of those days, whether it's you need a break from school or it's early evening and there's a lot of energy that needs to be worked off. People are bouncing off the walls in your house. Well, you can come over to the church grounds, and we have a tetherball pole and tetherball. So you can just come to the south parking lot and pull up, and then we have our pole with the ball ready to go. And I'm including with the email announcement links to how to play tetherball in case you haven't done it or it was a long time ago that you did. And then the rules are very simple, but we have the post here, and so you can come and be sure to just use sanitizer on your hands when you're done in case somebody else has used it, and you can have fun for 15 minutes, a half an hour or more. If you have a family full of people, you can have a little tournament, but come to River Terrace to our grounds, and you can use the tetherball pole. One of the privileges that I have as a pastor is often at the end of worship, I'll raise my hands and give the benediction. I'll bless the people of God as they go back into the world. And that comes from Numbers chapter 6, verses 22 to 27, where Moses' brother Aaron is instructed that as the head of the priests and the priestly line that comes from him, that's how they are to bless the people, raise their hands, say, the Lord bless you and keep you. And I like doing that as a pastor. It's a privilege, and but I also like receiving it when I'm not the one doing it, and I'm grateful for that blessing. But I encourage each of us as parents to understand our priestly role with our kids, that we, like the priest praying for the people, working on behalf of the people, that we're in a priestly role as parents with our kids. And I think back to a long time ago when Carl and I were first married. We were out in the Pacific Northwest visiting her sister and her sister's family. And we didn't have kids yet, and they had kids. And I remember Carla's sister, her young kids would be lining up by the door, and they'd have their big backpacks on, ready to get on the bus. And she would gather them and pray over them for that day. And so I've tried to do that with our kids, whether it is praying at the house, or if I'm like our sons who go to Lansing Christian School, if I drop them off, praying for them in the car. And I encourage each of us to do that. It doesn't have to be a long, eloquent prayer. Just pray for your child, bless them, and pray that throughout the day they'd be able to focus on their studies, to interact well with friends, continue to make new friends, to treat their teachers with respect, and to serve God in all they do. So I encourage each of us to give that blessing to our children each morning. And of course, pray for them before they go to sleep at night.